Datti burst into tears and openly wept on national TV. Chronicle the cause at Datti and the news info. Former Minister of Aviation and Shifting of the All Progressive Congress APC, Mr. Femi Fani-Kayode, has called out the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the just concluded 2023 presidential elections, Senator Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, saying Mr. Datti wept openly on national TV. Mr. Kayode said this in a statement he made on his verified Twitter handle, which he titled 18 Interesting Facts about the 2023 presidential election. Below are the screenshot of his statement. One, permit me to share the following historical fact that will be established after the swearing-in of President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu on May 29, 2023. So the first one here is President Muhammadu Buhari will be the longest serving civilian and democratically elected northerner that has ever sat on the throne in Nigeria. Is he all about sitting on the throne? Doing what is expected, that is the major thing. Then two, President Muhammadu Buhari will be the only core northerner, meaning someone from the northwest or northeast, military or civilian, that did not pass on or was not removed in a military coup whilst on the throne. The President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be the first Southern Muslim to be sworn in as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Therefore, Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima will be the first Kanuri to be sworn in as a Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This will be the first time in the history of Nigeria that a Muslim president and a Muslim vice president have been sworn in as democratically elected president and vice president respectively. This is the first time that an Igbo presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has won a presidential election in Lagos, Plateau, Nasarawa, and FCT, and that the Southeast state have given 94% of their vote to an Igbo. Then 7, this is the first time in history of our country that a Fulani presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has scored the lowest number of votes in the north, which is NC, in the North Central, and could not win one state in that entire zone. Then 8, this is the first time in the history of our country that the majority of the people and leaders in the north insisted on a power shift to the south. The 9, this is the first time in the history of our politics that the church plays such an active and pivotal role in presidential election by opening a dozen and supporting one candidate, Peter Obi, and despite that candidate lost. Who they say lost? But still mandate. Then 10, this is the first time that a presidential candidate and later President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been so conspired against, opposed, denigrated, verified, humiliated, misrepresented, and insulted by members of the opposition and even a few elements within his own party, and yet he managed to win the primaries, win the election, overcome against all odds, come out victorious, and be sworn in as President of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Zona Magomago. The 11, this is the first time in the history of Nigeria that there has been such a strong and formidable collaboration on a saleable political alliance between the leaders and people of the North and the Southwest. Then 12 said this is the first time in the history of Nigeria that a vice presidential candidate, Datti has threatened the president, the chief justice of federation and chairman and of INEC with unspecified consequences, claiming that no one would be safe, calling for military intervention and making reasonable statement on national television in event of president-elect being sworn in. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria that a vice presidential candidate, Datti burst into tears and openly wept on national television because of the verbal and literary attack received from his opponent and what was written about him in an essay. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria that presidential candidate Peter B has described a presidential election as a religious war and asked a bishop to use his church and influence with members of the Christian community to deliver a state for him. The 15th, this is the first time in history of Nigeria that a man head up in a plane stopped it from taking off for over 1 hour and eventually had to be dragged off, or in an attempt to protest and to stop President-elect from being sworn in. The 16th said this is the first time in the history of Nigeria that a winning presidential ticket had no Fulani and no Christian in it, and yet won. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria that a vice presidential candidate, that Baba Ahmed, burst into tears and openly wept on national television because of the verbal and literary attack he received from his opponent and what was written about him in an essay. This Nigerian government, they are very fat, eh? All these people that are not reliable. You don't have time for citizens. And you are saying you are a leader. What have you done for citizens? Nigerian citizens that they have been, in fact, should there be a lot of things that the government ought to have lifted from them for over time now. No good electricity, no good road. Is it the economy of the country? In the area of the, or even in the area of political system, nothing to write home about. You can imagine. Killing everywhere. And they are saying they are leaders. They are working. Therefore, my listeners are there will be your take. On the short hand, that you burst into tears and openly wept on national TV. Fanikadi calls out Datti. Please react to that if as you do so believe. Do justice to every of your reactions. Talk about the various opinion. Already popping for the comment section. The first one from a phone number. I say yes, Datti wept for Nigeria, or like some hardened criminal like Fanikadi, Nanogas, Festus, and co. Even waiting and devil do that. It's not even. It's enough for someone to even cry in his own closet. Somebody win election, now ring the election against them. After all the whole, in fact, hard work, all the other go before the election, in order for them to win the election, and they did very well. And at the end, the election was ring against them, and they are looking for what they will use to arrest them. In fact, you can imagine this Nigerian government. They are looking for what they will use to pin them down, to put them in prison, to arrest them. Nobody God will help them. So long God is involved in their lives. So long they invite God for that. Then from history, we say everything has its first time. This is the first time a man will move from Senate to governor and be elected president, or all are the first shot. Congratulations, bad. Be smoking. Then forget, say please, Peter B didn't lose anything. He was the one that won 23 election. Everybody don't know before. Even the so-called APC faithful, they know it's not oppression. Evil children, they know. Children, they know. They know. They have true word. Say that you were because of the money you want to steal in the presidency. Even you know, say you don't lie, you did lie. All these people, they have the mind to serve. Sincere mind, as in they have good intentions. They have good vision. So it's not good to spoil them. That's why now almost every Nigerian came out and vote for them. But at the long run, the thing was, in fact, the entire election was ring against them. Was ring in favor of the so-called cabals that are saying that they are the owner of this country. God will help this country. I think for this now we are wrapping it. Please endeavor to subscribe to this channel and also ensure that you share the very news to all social media platforms as you do so believe the Almighty God will do the very need for your life. Bye bye.